Texas police search for a man who fatally shot a robber inside the restaurant.
Inside a Texas
America,
restaurant.
we're going to talk
Police are searching
about
for a man who they say opened fire, killing a robbery suspect who was holding customers at gunpoint.
There it is.
John Quiones is in Houston with the latest. Good morning, John.
Good morning,
Cowboy
Michael.
time in America.
It was a frightening ordeal. A man dressed all in black storms into a restaurant here in Houston and allegedly starts robbing diners, going table to table. That's when police...
Bro, he went, I'm John Quinones, and what would you do if someone robbed people at the restaurant in front of you? Turns out, what this one suspect did was kill the armed robber. America is just is out of a movie. Like everything that happens in the United States is that's some real Texas shit right there.
Police say suddenly another patron pulls out his own gun and shoots the man dead, and it's all captured on security cameras.
This morning, authorities want to talk to this man who allegedly shot and killed a masked robbery suspect inside of a Houston taqueria. The terrifying scene all caught on security camera footage obtained by our station KTRK.
Pues están asustados, nerviosos. Lo mismo yo también.
It happened on Thursday around midnight. Police say the suspect, seen here dressed in black, walked into a restaurant and pointed what appeared to be a gun at customers as he took their wallets and cell phones.
As he was exiting the store, one of the patrons got up out of their seat and immediately discharged a pistol into the suspect.
Police say the customer shooting him multiple times and then returning the stolen belongings.
They're not.
It's a unique situation because like the guy's leaving, but he very clearly did do something fucked up, which is armed robbery with a gun. So at that point, when you do that, you're basically you're basically saying to people, look, I've done this. I don't mind using a gun to do this kind of shit. Even though he's on his way out, I mean, I don't know. Part of me thinks it's like valid at that point. Now, if a police officer had done that, I would probably be mad about it. But it's Texas. You know, what the fuck you doing? It's a PvP zone, brother.
Awake and they're not breathing.
Estaba con su compañero. Que llega el ladrón con la arma.
Police say the weapon the suspect was carrying turned out to be a plastic airsoft or a BB gun. Investigators have not identified the deceased suspect believed to have been in his 20s or the man accused of killing him, calling him a person of interest.
He could be charged with murder, but in this case, I believe he's going to be justified. In Texas, a person can use deadly force.
From that patron accused of shooting. You know, so far no charges have been filed in this case, but...
He was not leaving. He was walking back and forth. Yeah. I mean, look, you take a gun, whether it's airsoft or not, doesn't matter. People don't know it's airsoft. Like, they think it's a real gun. And you do an armed robbery. If a motherfucker has, like, a real gun, they're going to shoot you. You know? You fuck around, you find out. It's a sad state of affairs, ultimately. But, you know, that guy doesn't fucking know. That guy doesn't know what the fuck's going on. He thinks there's a guy with a gun who may or may not shoot people. That's a reasonable suspicion to have in a situation like this. So, you know, it's Texas too. Like, how the fuck do you carry a fake gun in Texas when every motherfucker has a real one? It's like easier to get a real gun. Dude was using a gun to rob and threaten people in Houston, Texas. Don't matter if it's fake, it looks real, and your actions are asking for big problems. Exactly. Like, that's crazy to me.
Houston police may soon hear from the man accused of shooting the alleged robber. His lawyer has said that his client is ready to talk to the authorities about exactly what happened that night in that restaurant. George?
What a scene. Okay, John, thanks very much.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks.
People in the chat are saying, I haven't seen the footage, but people in the chat are saying he was a bit of a freak and like shot him a bunch of times and then stood over him and capped him, like double tapped him, execution style, which is, you know, not all right. Yeah, that is fucking insane. So I don't know what to say about that other than that's probably why they're looking for him, not to give him a medal, but to, you know, investigate this. I think it's justified, but why did the dude flee? Yeah, well, he fled because he fucking triple tapped the dude, apparently. Yeah, didn't he just execute the dude when he took the airsoft away? The dude was no longer a threat at that point. That's just murder? Yeah. The fact that you think a shooting was justified is fucking crazy. I mean, there are different components in this conversation. If it's yes, if someone literally enters an establishment with a fucking gun and you have a gun and you have an angle and you shoot them, what do you mean? That's kind of literally the only point that is the only time when it's like appropriate for self-defense. Once you shoot him, though, and he's on the ground, and you separate him from his airsoft gun, whether you know it's an airsoft gun or not, to put a couple on the fucking back of his skull, that's completely unhinged and unacceptable, and would most likely open him up for actual charges. You know? So I can shoot anyone with any kind of gun if I feel threatened, like how cops feel threatened? Brother, first of all, unfortunately, in the United States of America, you kind of can do that in certain states, called the Castle Doctrine. But that is insane. He's literally a victim at that point to an armed robbery. What are you talking about? It's the only instance where it is reasonable. It's like assuming at the top of the hour, a 3-minute ad break isn't coming. You know what I mean? If you want a reasonable instance of self-defense, you subscribe for $5 or for free at the top of the fucking hour. Okay? Because the top of the hour is coming for you, whether you expect it or not. You can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky. Jolene Cujo, thank you for the 5 gifted subs, allowing 5 people to no longer see the ads. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. Yeah, the force used exceeded what was necessary after the fact, so he was just in the self-defense, but then created another offense after disarming the robber. Yep. That, you can't like actually fucking separate someone from their weapon like you would in a fucking movie and then continue to kill this person. I'm pretty sure that you've, as a matter of fact, by doing so, you ruined. Murat's here with a tarp. As a matter of fact, you've ruined your shot at self-defense when you fucking shot him. The second time.
New details. We're learning about a shooting at an elementary school in Newport News, Virginia. Police say a 6-year-old boy, a first grader, somehow got a hold of a gun and opened fire at his teacher, critically wounding her. ABC's senior investigative reporter Aaron Katersky is here. Aaron, good morning to you. Police say this was not an accidental shooting.
They didn't explain what it was, but they did say, Janae, it is not an accident. And in a country inured to gun violence, what happened at that elementary school in Newport News, Virginia, is truly.
I mean, yeah, Houston is not going to fucking actually charge him. Houston Police Department. Houston police want to speak to this man, but he's not charged with a crime. HPD says a gunman was robbing people at a Tequera on South Gessner last night. During the robbery, this man shot and killed the suspect, collected the money, gave it back to the robbery victims, and left. The customer who killed the robber met with HPD today. He was not arrested or charged. The case will now be referred to a grand jury. That's crazy to me. Like it's a weird story because like the reality is like, I mean, he did like shooting him once in that situation, like apprehending him, stopping him from like potentially using his gun on others. Smart thing to do, right thing to do, brave thing to do, sure. But like when he triple tapped them, it's fucking over, you know what I mean? At that point you've gone above and beyond. I haven't seen the video. Taqueria, you're in LA, bro. Okay, shut the fuck up. Hasanabi, he should get life in prison. I don't know if he should get life in prison, but he should definitely be charged with whatever the fucking adequate, like it's not premeditated murder, chatter. You know what I mean? That's different. It's manslaughter. I haven't seen the video. Bro thinks he's Pete Davidson. What? Why would he be Pete Davidson? I don't get it. Here's a clip. Watch it off stream. Here, I'll watch it. He's just grabbing everyone's weapons. I mean, grabbing everyone's like... Okay, so we keep shooting him? What the fuck? Wait, hold on. Oh, dude. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Hold on 1 second, chat. 1 second. I'm gonna deafen the audio and listen to it real quick. 3, 4, 5, 6 on the ground, 7 on the ground, 8 on the ground, 9 on the ground. Oh, dude, yeah. That's like 10 shots, bro. What the fuck? He literally pauses in between the shots. I mean, I can't show this video to you for obvious reasons, but he mag dumps on him, which is like police protocol. But once he's on the fucking ground, like that's crazy. He literally, here, you can hear the shots. I'm going to show you, you can hear the shots so you understand. So that's 4. The suspect is now on the ground. Okay, 4 shots. Suspect is on the ground. Starts walking towards him and still shooting. Okay, that's 5 shots. 6 shots. 7 shots. Literally walking towards the suspect at this point while still shooting him. 8 shots. He's leaning over the suspect now. On the 8th shot, he basically is leaning over the suspect, aiming it at his head. Comes back, picks stuff up from the ground, comes back, picks stuff up from the ground, like his gun, and then shoots him in the head again. Suspect is on his stomach. And that's where you're not supposed, that's just murder at that point, straight up. He was just like having food with his friend. The old man was having food with some other fucking dude. I mean, he will not be charged most likely, but My prediction on the situation is the man knew he would be fine in the eyes of the law because it's Texas, but he did not want his name getting leaked because his social media post going to be crazy and telling for why he was so excited to shoot extra. Not even kidding. Oh yeah. I mean, I don't even think he has the wherewithal to think about it at that moment. I think he just like. But yes, your prediction is correct. Once they figure out what his name is, they're going to look through and scour social media to find his social media post talking about how he can't wait to fucking kill black people or some shit. Yeah. But yeah, he'll get like a maximum fucking slap on the wrist. Maximum. All right, let's watch the 6-year-old.
Stunning.
Teacher shot.
This morning, a 6-year-old boy is in custody and a teacher is in critical condition after a shooting at Rich Neck Elementary School.
I'm in shock, and I'm disheartened.
Female victim, she's been shot in the abdomen as well as a through and through into the hand.
Police said the 6-year-old brought a handgun to a first-grade classroom and deliberately shot the teacher.
This was not an accidental shooting.
The school locked down. Officers swarmed in, trying to calm terrified students and bewildered parents.
Instantly, my heart dropped because I'm thinking of the age of these children and what they possibly were going through at that time.
The president of the American Federation of Teachers describing the event as a horrific tragedy, adding that guns shouldn't be in our classrooms, our campuses, or anywhere near our schools. Police did not say how someone so young had access to a gun, but the school superintendent said it represented a breakdown in values.
We need to keep the guns out of the hands of our young people.
There's no school at Rich Neck Elementary on Monday while authorities figure out both how to prevent this and the...
I think, like, first of all, America is such an insane country where, like, you hear the news media say things like, authorities are trying to figure out how to prevent a 6-year-old from having guns and shooting their teachers. Like, the moment that sentence leaves someone's mouth, you have to understand, like, this is a problem. This is a crisis, right? Like, how do we get these toddlers to stop shooting teachers is an insane fucking statement to ever ponder, to ever consider, to ever think about. And that there's not really much you can do about it either. Unless our goal is to, of course, arm all the 6th graders, because honestly, the only thing to stop a bad kid with a gun is, I hate to say it, a good kid with a gun, okay? There's no other way to stop bad 6-year-olds with a gun from shooting teachers unless we arm the good 6-year-olds with guns as well, and therefore allowing them to successfully apprehend. Fortnite Battle Bus style.
The future and whether the student was known to be a troubled child. The most critical question, though, Whit, how the gun wound up in the hands of a little boy. Whit?
That is the question. Such an upsetting story. All right, Aaron, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC.
Classified documents from Biden's time as VP were found at a private office last fall. The matter was referred to the Justice Department. Let's go. Whoa. Elon Musk unfollowed his own brother, Kimball Musk. That's suspicious. Uh-oh. Kimball Musk, famously friend to fucking Jeffrey Epstein. Abby Zwerner, 6-year-old who shot his teacher, used mother's gun. 25-year-old Abby Zwerner Wait, police said the child intentionally shot his teacher, identified as 25-year-old Abigail Abby Zwerner during class. Mrs. Zwerner remains in stable condition. Police in Newport News, a city of 180,000 people northwest of Virginia Beach, said they spoke with the teacher earlier on Monday. She's a trooper. She's a hero. Now, only problem was that she wasn't armed to the teeth, brother. That was a big mistake. She needed to have a weapon of her own. Chief Drew said the child fired one round at his teacher. He added that the shooting was not accidental, it was intentional. She was struck through her hand and into her upper chest. She made sure her students were safely outside the classroom before making her way to the school's administration office to call for help. Holy fuck, that's crazy. They found a 9mm Taurus pistol in the classroom near the student's desk, along with his backpack, a cell phone, and one spent shell casing. Chief Drew said the police determined through an interview the child's mother that the gun was bought legally and stored in the child's home. The child, who has not been identified, was taken into custody and is undergoing evaluation in a hospital. Dude, how the fuck do you get... How the fuck do you get a 6-year-old to do this? I mean, yeah, I know. Here, I know. Kindergartens, we know. This is one of my favorite. This was a very good TV show. Officials said that while the school, which was about 550 people, had metal detectors, pupils were checked at a random and not every child was inspected. We were doing maths. An announcer came on. She was like, lockdown. I repeat, lockdown. I was scared. One parent, Steve Gonzalez, whose child was present in the classroom at the time, said Mrs. Werner's actions were selfless. I mean, that's fucking bananas, dude.
The altercation was between a 6-year-old, the student who did have the firearm, and the teacher, and then a round was fired. This is a hard situation. It's a hard situation for families. It's a hard situation for our most valuable residents here, as our young people, right? That's our future.
I'm sounding like a broken record today because I continue to reiterate that we need to keep the guns out of the hands of our young people. This is evidence today that these are the things that happen when we have access to weapons.
The altercation was between a 6-year-old.
How do you even like cover the story? You know what I mean? They can't even like say anything serious about it because like you can't use the normal terminology that you use, like the suspect. The suspect is a 6-year-old, you know? The altercation, ultimately between a 6-year-old, you know? Like, that will not change, no matter what you say. I don't know how to like charge the kid in this situation.